May 28, 1453. Twilight. Seabirds circle above the Bosporus while the last rays of the sun paint Constantinople's triple walls in liquid bronze. Smoke from shattered masonry hangs like a veil over the city's 7 hills. For 11 centuries, these stones have guarded the only land bridge between Europe and Asia. Tonight, they are cracking, and the sound is older than memory. High on the ramparts walks Emperor Constantine XI Palaeologus, last heir of Augustus and Constantine the Great. He has ruled scarcely 4 years, yet he wears armor older than his own dynasty. Priests follow him, swinging censers that perfume the dusk with frankincense. One by one they offer final absolution to jittery soldiers who dare lift their eyes from the rubble at their feet. Across the now dry moat squats a bronze monster, the basilica cannon. Its Hungarian builder, Orban, promised it could blast a hole in the walls of Babylon. 50 oxen dragged the barrel from Adrianople. 200 men spent 3 hours loading each stone shot. When the fuse hisses, bystanders cover their ears, but the roar still bruises their ribs. A 600-kilo boulder arcs over the ditch and meets the wall like a fist through parchment. Towers that once repelled Goths, Avars, and Arab caliphs now tremble with every thunderclap. Yet Constantinople's defense was never a single wall, it was an ecosystem. First a moat 15 meters wide, then an outer curtain 5 meters thick, then an inner curtain 9 meters thick and studded with 96 towers. Medieval chroniclers called it the Shield of Christendom. For a millennium the system turned sieges into legends. Gunpowder redraws those legends in smoke. Inside the city, despair moves at street level. Grain granaries stand hollow, cistern water tastes of dust and ash. Women melt silver icons to pay for moldy barley, yet silk merchants still haggle over bolts from Bursa because commerce is the empire's last heartbeat. Monks copy manuscripts by lamplight, hoping at least the ideas might survive even if the copyists do not. Beyond the land walls an army camp stretches to the horizon. 80,000 infantry, 10,000 elite janissaries in crimson caps, artillery crews in leather aprons, and a fleet of 125 war galleys sit at anchor. At their center stands Sultan Mehmed II, not yet 22, but already convinced destiny speaks Turkish. On a lambskin map he has sketched a new title, Caesar Rum, Caesar of Rome, and whispers it into the night to test its flavor. The Byzantines retain one last ace, a giant iron chain the width of a man's thigh stretched across the mouth of the Golden Horn. By day it glints like a serpent, by night it clinks in the tide like a cracked bell, blocking every Ottoman hull from the inner harbor. Unfortunately for the defenders, chains do not guard hills. On a moonless night Mehmed orders 41 galleys hauled over greased logs across the hill of Galata. Lanterns are hooded, hooves are wrapped in felt. By dawn the Ottomans launch behind the chain, cannons already loaded and aimed at the supposedly impregnable sea walls. When Constantinople wakes, defenders find enemy cannon less than 100 meters away. Morale plummets like a stone from the ramparts. Emperor Constantine sends desperate letters westward, pleading for ships, soldiers, miracles. Only 700 Genoese volunteers, led by Captain Giovanni Giustiniani, pierce the blockade. Venice debates trade routes, the Pope negotiates union of churches, and the Holy Roman Emperor tends quarrels along the Danube. Diplomacy moves slower than gunpowder. Parchment cannot outrun iron. May 28. By candlelight, Greeks, Genoese, and even mercenaries from Galicia gather inside Hagia Sophia. Gold mosaics shimmer in darkness. Latin and Greek hymns mingle for the first time since the Great Schism of 1054, a wound that preached division for 4 centuries. Enemies in theology become brothers in extinction. Outside, the ground quakes as bronze barrels roll into final position. Shortly after midnight the last assault begins. Waves of irregular conscripts rush the breaches to soak up arrows. Anatolian infantry follows to widen cracks, and finally janissaries advance in eerie silence, each man gripping a curved yataghan and a faith in pay or paradise. At a postern gate called Kerkoporta someone fails to drop the inner portcullis. A handful of Ottoman scouts climb through, raise a green banner, and panic ignites along the wall like oil on water. Emperor Constantine rips the purple from his shoulders, draws his sword, and vanishes into the melee. Witnesses claim they saw him fall, others swear he escaped in monk's robes. By sunrise Mehmed rides through the shattered gate that once bore Roman eagles. He dismounts at Hagia Sophia, sprinkles earth upon his turban as humility before God, and orders the cathedral consecrated as a mosque. The Roman Empire, born in 27 BCE, dies on the morning of the 29th of May 1453. Shockwaves ripple far beyond the Bosporus. New tolls on silk and spice squeeze Italian merchants. Portuguese captains study the stars and wonder whether the ocean itself might offer a bargain. 39 years later Columbus bets his life that the world is smaller westward than Ottoman tariffs eastward. North of the Black Sea, Orthodox monks flee with crates of Greek manuscripts. In Moscow, Grand Prince Ivan III marries the last Byzantine princess, plants the double-headed eagle on his banners, and proclaims the city the Third Rome. A new claim to global guardianship is born from Constantinople's ashes. In Italy, those rescued manuscripts ignite the early fires of the Renaissance. Artists rediscover anatomy, architects resurrect domes, and humanists reread Plato in the original Greek, many pages copied only hours before the sack. From Michelangelo's marble to Erasmus' Greek New Testament, the fingerprints of 1453 smudge every margin. Yet Constantinople, now Istanbul, does not vanish. She becomes the beating heart of an empire that will last 4 more centuries, stretching from the gates of Vienna to the Red Sea. Coffee houses buzz with Persian poets. Traders weigh saffron against Venetian glass. Schoolboys recite algebra alongside Quranic verse. One city, straddling 2 continents, taxes caravans by land and fleets by sea, deciding tariffs, faiths, and even coffee habits across 3 continents. Travelers today can stand at Kerkoporta, trace bullet pocks on limestone blocks older than their own nations, and watch container ships slide past the same waters where Geno's galleys once died. The story is not buried. It is layered, like the walls themselves, beneath every cobblestone and within every souvenir postcard. And that is why the fall of Constantinople matters. It is not merely the tale of an empire's collapse, it is the hinge on which doors to new worlds swung open. When one system crumbled, trade routes remapped, sciences migrated, and the very idea of Europe tilted westward. History is a relay race. Every failure hands a burning torch to the next runner, and progress sprints on scorched ground. Turn the hourglass, and subscribe. Each week we flip the sand and ask a simple question. What happened, and how is it still shaping us today? The answers, like the city's stones, may be older than memory, but they crack open new ways to see tomorrow.